Hey, what's going on, Sagittarius? How are you? Thanks for watching. This is going to be your reading for the September full moon of 2018. This full moon is in the sign of Cancer, and it's also the first full moon after the fall equinox. So it's also considered a harvest full moon. Now, the harvest moon is a time where we are reminded of the things that we have accomplished and the things that we have worked towards all year. And it also, reminds us and gets us ready for the things that we have yet to accomplish, or the things that we do have yet coming on that's going to finish out the year, that's going to set us up for, the coming winter months, or, which is around the new year. Or in the new year, really. But anyway, Sagittarius, the intent of this reading is to highlight some themes that could be prevalent for you guys as you move through this particular full moon cycle. All right, full harvest moon for Sagittarius. Please give us clear energy for the full harvest moon in Sagittarius. Thank you so much, Spirit. So, okay. Sag, thanks so much for being patient. All right, excuse me. All right, Sagittarius, thank you. Okay, so as it stands right now, Sagittarius, okay, so a lot of you, I feel like, are coming from the Five of Swords energy. The Five of Swords energy does speak about, maybe arguments within your friendships or amongst your peers, things changing to a point to where, things are really beginning to change, like your mind is beginning to change and you're not really seeing things the way other people saw them. Or we're seeing them, that's like with the up right there. But I feel like at this stage, for some of you, Sagittarius, you may be, past a certain point of conflict within people within your circle, amongst your peers, people at your workplace, you are beginning to get to a point to where I feel like a lot of you are beginning to want to move past that particular maybe argument or disagreement. It's like, okay, it's like, you really want it to be water under the bridge, and you may even find yourself, Sagittarius, being in a position to kind of like not coddle, but more so like just kind of soothe or or how can I say this, like it's like you're wanting to allow the opportunity to be able to come back to those whom you may have like hurt their feelings or change their mind about certain things. And it's like, okay, but listen, you're like wanting to explain that, I feel. Okay, so with here, I do have the Strength card right here. With the Strength card being in reverse for you in this position, I feel like what's keeping you, what's giving you a sense of balance is, and I apologize if you hear all of this commotion outside of my window. I don't know why. It's literally as soon as I tried to do your reading, it was quiet. But then as soon as I went to go do your reading, now it's all this noise. Oh boy. Sagittarius, I'm so sorry. Thanks for your time. But with this Strength card here coming up in reverse, what I'm really feeling like is, I'm really feeling like for a lot of you, you are trying to find the courage to be able to go back to those whom you may have disappointed, or they may have disappointed you, and that's put you both like at like separation. But you're wanting to reconcile, but you're looking for the courage to do it. You're also wondering if the people that you want to communicate with, you're also wondering if, they even have the courage or the mental stamina to be able to go in it being very calm. I feel like, this is very energy. This is like, the Strength card is like saying you have the courage to succeed and to move through it. And as long as you do that by, showing compassion and, being very, calm, but at the same time still being stern. I feel like, you are being able to, get your point across. And here I feel like it's the same energy, except for it's more so like you are just really worried. It's like this is something you want to do, but you're just really worried if the situation still too sensitive for you to move back into. Is this situation still a little bit too delicate, for you to be able to rehash it out with other parties involved, or anybody that, is involved in this particular disagreement? Now, things that could be changing for you here during this new full moon cycle, Sagittarius, I feel like for a lot of you, you do. Okay, so what's showing up for you is the Princess of Wands, and the Princess of Wands is in reverse. So for a lot of you, Sagittarius, I feel like so far your actions may be coming from like a very unbalanced nature. It's like a lot of you may be just really doing things like just for the thrill of it, only because it's like I kind of almost feel like it's like a, you maybe didn't get your way in a particular situation, and it's like, now you are acting out, or you were acting out, or you're recognizing how much of a temper tantrum, so to speak, you were actually really, throwing within this particular disagreement. You wanted your opinions to be heard. You wanted what you have done in this relationship, or in this particular, over the year, just anywhere in your life, you wanted what you have done to hold some weight. Like, you don't feel like you have any type of, I don't feel like a lot of you are getting the recognition that you think is due. And maybe that's probably why, there was a lot of disagreement. And it is a very sensitive subject because, it involves, for a lot of you Sagittarius, this is your energy, this Wands energy. This involves your ego. It involves your ego, but at the same time, like I was saying, when it comes to this Princess of Wands, it's kind of like a Page of Wands. So it's kind of like a trigger, you know what I mean? There's like change that's coming with this. So it's like something within you, maybe either after this disagreement, or maybe even right before this disagreement. For a lot of you Sagittarius, it may have been after this disagreement that you really realized like how much, for some of you, how much of a baby you could have been, or for some of you, you just really displaying, how stubborn you may have been. But I feel like it came from a place of just like ignorance, but not in a, not in a negative way. It just came from a place of you just not really maybe being very experienced in this particular type of dealing. So now, okay, you've gained this experience, and it's like, okay, now for a lot of you, you're realizing, oh, okay, well now, this is why this is happening. And it's because, my actions were, very, my actions weren't necessarily matching up to how maybe opinions of opinions or ways that you thought that things should have been going in your mind. Excuse me. I apologize about that. So Sagittarius right here, I'm showing the Temperance card. And what this is saying here, this is in the position of things that you need to let go, things that you need to release. I feel like right here, this is kind of where a lot of you Sagittarius may be feeling the cycle that you really need to just kind of just, let spirit take reign, and you just be very, very, very patient. I feel like right now the situation that you're dealing with you and other parties involved, whatever the topic is, whatever the situation is, whatever it is that you did, or whatever was done to you, or whatever y'all don't see eye to eye on, I feel like the situation calls for you to be very patient. The ice is not hard yet on this situation. It's really shaky ground. It's not strong enough. right now. For a lot of you, you can be very much still in the thick of the disagreement. For a lot of you, Sagittarius, this disagreement or argument or this disagreement or this argument or like this stalemate in a way, but more aggressive, is like this is energy that actually may play out during the full moon. So that's interesting to see here how, how this is further much going to play out for you, Sagittarius. But right now, I feel like, it's spirit or universe is calling for you to just be very, very patient, because, the extremes of this matter are still running hot between both sides. And both of you really need to cool. You really need time to just cool off and both get your own perspective of the matters, both regain, your own set of faculties, in order to be able to deal with reconciliation. I feel like with the Strength card being here in reverse, if it was here, this matter would be strong enough for you to deal with. But there's really it's just really going to take some time, Sagittarius. Some time, and I feel like you are going to have to really practice being patient, because I feel like, you're in the energy of really wanting to come back and really reconcile a situation, or maybe even, not necessarily apologize, but you just want to hash it out. You want to just, okay, this isn't saying that you still are going to agree with each other after, this is just saying, you at least want to be able to get to a point to where you're both are like, all right, let's agree to disagree here. Let's not hurt each other's feelings about this particular matter. Let's understand where we each were wrong, or let's understand where the blame really is, wanting to take place, or rather you want to understand where the energy of the blame, if there is any blame, where it really goes, what it really means, hash everything out in between. But just please be patient, Sagittarius. So the Two of Swords here in reverse coming up. Now this is the position of like, like how you can, work through the current changes that are happening right now within the situation. For you, Sagittarius, within this disagreement. So what you need to know to work through this is that it kind of goes hand in hand with this Temperance card. Here, this is you wanting to make the decisions or having a decision to make, but with it being in reverse, I'm really just feeling like there's really not much that you can do anymore, Sagittarius. If you have tried to reconcile with this situation and it has proved unworthy, again, it's because it's not strong enough yet to be reconciled. There's still some hurt feelings. There's still some ego blows that, there's still some blows to the ego on both sides that you really both are going to have to reconcile within yourselves, or that both parties are going to have to reconcile within themselves before anybody can really move forward here. And Sagittarius, this is just really saying, the decision right now is it's not really in your court. There's not really any further action that you can take other than really just be patient. Yeah, and with the Three of Swords coming right here after that in reverse, what you really need to focus your attention on this full moon, Sagittarius, is a lot of you really need to focus on yourself, your own heart, your healing, okay? Learning from past mistakes, learning from mistakes that others have made with you. And through that, you will be able to gain your strength, And I feel like this works for both parties. I feel like the both of you have maybe equally caused some hurt between each other. If this is a relationship, I kind of feel like it is somewhere that way. If not a romantic relationship, I'm really getting the strong sense that this is probably like a very, very, very close friendship, if anything. But, you guys, both parties involved really just need to take time, use that time wisely in, gaining your own courage, really just working on your healing your own heart and your own ego. That way the both of you can reapproach the situation from a healed heart and not from a hurt one. Or at least, you know, if it's not so much healed, you know, at least, I mean, because the pain is still there, but at least now you know, this in reverse is saying that, you know, you have worked through a broken heart. You have worked through disappointment. You have worked through things that, you know, did not go for you in your favor. So Sagittarius, this is really beautiful energy coming through for the full moon. All right, so I do want to get some additional clarification here. I'm going to use our Deviant Moon Tarot deck to get some further information and clarification. I want to, you know, definitely use some of this moon energy that we have in this full moon. Deviant Moon, could you please be guided with us by the spirits to help clarify some of these cards? Could you clarify here the Five of Swords? Can you clarify the Five of Swords over the Strength card, both in reverse, please? Yeah. So that's definitely a lot going on, Sagittarius. Let's use one of these cards. I mean, this could really be like a really deep-rooted friendship or deep-rooted relationship that there may have been a lot of issues over time. So please. Okay. So the card that we have here is Strength. And also the Page of Pentacles. So what this is telling me here, Sagittarius, is that for you, in this particular situation between your parties, if this does involve, you know, you and a group of people or you and one particular person, I feel very strongly that it does. But I really feel like a lot of you are seeing, for some of you, you are seeing more potential in yourself and in your abilities. You're understanding and recognizing your own worth. Like feel like a lot of you Sagittarius have reached a turning point in your life where you do feel like you recognize that there is better out there for you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that this friendship is over and that you know, want to give up on the friendship to go for something better. But it's just saying that there's more out there. And, you know, Spirit has placed in you the strength to be able to go out there and get that. But I feel like for a lot of you, it has created a lot of strain in your relationship. You know, the strength that you gain in yourself, it weakens the relationship that you have with others. Only because right now you both aren't seeing eye to eye. Or maybe they don't see exactly how, you know, you are elevating and moving into your own new cycles here, Sagittarius. So, man, that really is some very great energy there. You know, sometimes that does happen when we begin to get ready to move to the next phase in our life. The people that are there, that are with us, that have been strong there with us while we were going through, sometimes it is hard for them to understand. But the thing about it is that it's not meant for them to understand right now. You know, you cannot take everybody into your new cycle, and, you know, the ones that you can will be the ones that will be supportive of you and supportive of your dreams and supportive of your goals, regardless of that means that y'all will be, you know, close after that. I do feel like you still have the potential to be close. You still have the potential to reconcile the situation and still bring the friendship back to its solid foundation. But you're just going to have to be able to have patience. And what is this Three of Swords? What is this Three of Swords? Please clarify. Whoa. All right. We got two cards here with the Three of Swords. With the Three of Swords, we've got the Page of Cups. And we've got the Nine of Swords. So with this all coming up together, I feel like for a lot of Sagittarius, there has been, like, you may have experienced some type of betrayal in your love life. Maybe somebody that, you know, was offering you their heart was also offering their heart to someone else in the same manner. Or, you know, maybe for a lot of you, you know, you have been just, because you haven't really fully healed from past situations, it brings up those worries and those insecurities and those fears in your current situations here. And that could also be another reason for, some of the, anxiety here, some of the sensitivity here is because maybe there is the inclination here that someone has been unfaithful in the past. So Sagittarius, this energy here, it is very thick, but I do feel like you are moving through it in a very upstanding manner. Like, you're recognizing that there are some changes that need to be made, and you're recognizing, I feel like for some of you Sagittarius, you're recognizing your own mistake. You're recognizing your own mistakes, and you're recognizing the mistakes of others that they made towards you, and you're being strong. You're being strong with it. Black Rose, could you give us any additional advice here for us through the full moon cycle in Sagittarius? Or for Sagittarius? Any additional advice and insight here? Okay, let's see. Please give us for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Harvest Moon energy. Any additional advice? So we have the 10th house, the world. So Sagittarius, the world, this is that new cycle that you are being, called to move forward towards. This is you achieving your goals. This is you really working your way through your own inner issues and into the next phase into your life. And, yes, that can cause disagreements. Yes, sometimes you can go about those ways or go about doing those types of things without knowing it, like in a very, maybe like in a disregarding type of way, Sagittarius. But I feel like, it's just you just really recognizing the fact that there is a new opportunity for you. There is new things on the horizon for you, and you want to take full advantage of those things. Is there any additional information from the moon? Please give us advice. Okay. So we have Jupiter return benefits. So Sagittarius, this is definitely saying right here that, and I believe Jupiter and Sagittarius are rulers of each other, or one of the other. I never could get it right, but this is saying, listen, I feel like for a lot of you Sagittarius, by your own birthday, what you're going to realize is that, you have already moved into your next cycle by your birthday, by just being very, very strong within your own self, working on your own inner issues, working on the mistakes, forgiving yourself, forgiving those that hurt you, building your strength, building your courage, and being patient with those who still need time to be able to do the same with you, and reconcile from their behalf as well. Any additional information here? Whoa, okay. So we got 3 cards to fall out. Sagittarius, we have the Hourglass. Time is of the essence. Seduction, passion, romance await. And the King, authority and diplomacy. So Sagittarius, this is like really, really beautiful energy. Oh my God, Sagittarius. So what I'm really seeing here is like, okay, again, time is of the essence. You're going to have to be patient. The situation requires time. The situation requires, just some serious, either alone time or just on the other party's separation time to really just kind of cool things off. And, during that time, you're able to focus now on, on the upcoming things that are coming forward towards you. You're about to move into, authority. You're about to move into being very admired. You're about to move into being very, for some of you, sought after and esteemed. So that's really beautiful energy there. Sagittarius, please let me know how this works out for you in the comment box. Please be patient with the people who are around you. Be patient with yourself. Allow things to cool off, and and just really use this energy of the full moon to actually heal from anything that happens around the time of the full moon that has happened up until now, up until going into the full moon. Sagittarius, thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your September. I'll see you in October.